I buy stupid shit all the time.
He does.
I sometimes invest in things. You also okay?
A lot less.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. Hi, I'm Wei Chun.
I'm Rayming.
Where are you from, bro? Hi, I'm Wei Chun.
And I'm Rayming from the Woke Salaryman.
And today we'll be reading a series of assumptions about us. So a bit nervous, but also eager to find out what people say.
Yeah, I feel quite anxious.
Anxious?
Yeah.
I've been waiting for this moment.
No, I just feel like anxious, about what people might say about us.
The Woke Salaryman's job is very easy. Just have to make comics and ask you to save money. Anyone can do it. I find it difficult because to draw is not just the process of drawing. Like a lot of the bulk of what we do actually is angling. You have to sort of toe the line between clickbait and then still being accurate
and fair.
And fair, right? What do you think? Do you think it's easy?
Well, I would say if anyone can do it, then why haven't you done it?
I'm not being sarcastic. Like, please talk to me and I'll hire you if you think it's easy. Like really, and if you can do it very fast, I will hire you and I'll pay you competitively because I find it hard. So maybe I'm not being sarcastic. I question myself about that. I have to really be very, very frank here because people might think I'm being sarcastic. As financial gurus, both Rayming and Wei Chun feel pressured to have X amount of money in their bank accounts.
Not really. Do you?
First of all, I wouldn't say with financial guru. I think learning process. I'm not very good at personal finance. I'm just a layman making my way along and trying to get better at this journey as well. A lot of the stuff that I do investment-wise and money-wise, I ask him one. I buy stupid shit all the time.
He does.
I sometimes invest in things. You also okay?
A lot less.
Okay, fair enough. With all the investment tips they dish out, the Woke Salarymen are millionaires or even billionaires.
I think billionaires know.
Billionaires know.
Yeah.
I'm not a millionaire myself.
Yeah. I think you can move on to the next question.
Well, you don't say
No, what? No.
It's not up to you to say move on to the next question.
Is there a comfortable sum that you guys would be happy with?
Oh, for me personally, it's 1.2 million. So it's based on this thing called the 4% rule.
Yes.
I'm basically estimating that when I retire, I want to have about $4,000 a month to spend. So if I invest $1.2 million, right, if it gives me 4% every year, which is a somewhat conservative estimate for, say, the stock market, I'll be able to just take the investment that I shave off the top, and that's $48,000, just nice for 12 months.
I use the same figure as well, so I just see it like 1.2 million will be good, and then everything else on top will just be a nice bonus. Rayming and Wei Chun had to deal with imposter syndrome when they first started the Woke Salaryman. For me, not really, because I already kind of live by everything that I wrote, but I think Wei Chun got more to say.
I face it every day. Like when I buy something stupid, I'm like, wow, I should uphold the ideals. But I think it's okay. The term is do what I say, not what I do.
Imposter syndrome, can be kind of helpful if you get to yaya papaya. It gets to keep you in check also. You know what I mean? So you have to balance being an arrogant douche and also imposter syndrome.
There was probably an argument if it should be called the Woke Salaryman, singular, or the Woke Salaryman.
I think salaryman is just a nice way to say salaried worker, I guess, and nobody wants to hear the employee. And I mean, it just doesn't sound as nice. The woke in Woke Salaryman means to be aware of not just money issues, but also how your actions play a bigger part in society. And also some people say, I woke up one day and I realized money was important. So that's how
that's what it meant to me. Yeah, the Woke Salaryman for me is ideal. It is not either one of us. People will say, hey, you woke salaryman. I used to correct. No, I'm not. It's an ideal. But I don't want to be the person, hey, it's not okay. So I just go, thanks. No.
Even though they are called the Woke Salaryman, they are not woke enough. I mean, you can always go all the way left, all the way right and say oh, wow, they're not woke enough. Does that you reach here already, then someone say, oh, you're still not woke enough. So I prefer to just live life on my own terms and what I consider to be aware or woke.
One of my favorite songs is Redbone by Childish Gambino. And the chorus of that song is him going, stay woke, but stay woke. And I just thought it's a great term because the idea of stay woke is that you stay in it. It's not something that you set once, right, and it's done. I have to consciously keep updating myself, my awareness of financial this and that, the industry that I'm in. And that is what I realized money was. That's where it comes from, okay? The way I meant it is to stay updated.
Both Rui Ming and Wei Chun are money-faced and money-driven. I can see why people think that. I often have a lot of friends who say like, money cannot buy happiness, money can't do this, money can't do that. But I think people can be very naive because actually, if you want to live in an expensive city like Singapore, money is important and therefore you need to be a certain degree of money-faced.
For me, money is a means to an end. It's not the end. Actually, right now, my dream is to retire, then I can full-time work on a horror comic book. That's my dream. Money face, I think okay, because it's a perceptional thing. You see me, you think I'm money face, I think it's okay. But if you say money driven, I would disagree because I'm not driven by money. I'm life goal driven, I'm horror comic driven.
Yep.
The money will help me accomplish it. So it's not the money driving me. Yeah, that's the distinction for me. The Woke Salaryman will end if Rui Ming and Wei Chun are not friends anymore.
What do you think? Oh my god, it takes so long.
I don't know, I really don't know. But do you feel like it's very hinged on our friendship?
I think not really. I mean, it would not be ideal, yes.
Yeah.
I like to be friends with you for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe not forever, because forever don't exist. But
But I don't think it will just end like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
unless we die in a car accident.
Hey, you don't think it's gonna end?
Okay. I mean, touching wood can say whatever I want.
yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What's the best advice you have given or received?
Well, the best advice I ever received was like from my ex-boss to say like, don't get high on own supply. Don't indulge in hubris, thinking that you made it already or become very yaya papaya, I would say. Like even though we have experienced some success, I always try to remind myself like,
It could just fail.
Yeah, it could just
tomorrow.
fail in the next.
Pride cometh before the fall.
Yes, pride cometh before the fall.
Yeah. So we are part of this year's Singapore Comic Con. They actually wanted us to do more, but we didn't have more to give. Like we want to sell plush toys and merchandise, but we didn't make enough. We made it have a very steely gaze, like a very stern face. So the idea is that if you want to buy anything frivolous, right, this is your check lah. You look into it and you go like, okay, I don't need it. Okay, I won't buy it. If you can pass this test, then maybe you can buy the thing. So maybe next year we'll do more, but this year we're just gonna do a talk about how we make comics. I think our perspective and our prudence, our general objectivity and strategic thinking when it comes to money, quite Singapore-ish.
Sometimes people might think like, oh, being a content creator, the job very easy, just post pictures, just draw things. Yeah, so I think it was really cool to let people see the behind the scenes of the whole thing.
Thank you for watching this episode of Assumptions About Us.
It says me.
Yeah, but us like two of us, right? Thank you for watching this episode of Assumptions About Us.
If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Bye!